great.
I love your shirts. I gotta get some of those.
Yeah, they're chill. It's so hot out here, the humidity, that it's kind of the way to go.
I
At
bet.
least for me. At least for me.
I'm guessing it's all natural linens.
Yeah, it is.
Nice.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah, that's something that's pretty good for propagating your auric field or having something at least
Yes.
not detrimental on you.
So some people say that it could actually assist in also raising your frequency because it's made of plants.
That's wild. I just saw a video about this product that's out now that companies are using, and you can match you can, it's militarized, right? But you can find like gunpowder, or you can find a ammunition, or it attaches the frequency. You
Wow.
can find the frequency of a certain element, right? So there's like a little like pocket size, this guy was saying. I'll send it to you, but it's incredible. And I was like, well, that's like the rife frequencies, and everything has
Yes.
frequency. And at the end of the video, the guy was saying, well, yeah, we can also find cancer. You can find certain cancers, you can do cancer scans, you can do,
Right. That's very similar. Rife. It's like rife.
yeah,
Yeah.
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 Pretty
Like there's a
wild.
frequency for everything. Kind of like that thing that I sent you. There's different frequencies for healing. So it's kind of the same thing. It didn't say that specific. So the original rife, which is hard to find right now because there's so much suppression out there, had
Right.
a frequency, and also for different types that occurred in different parts of the body that would eliminate it because we're all electric and electricity.
Yeah, and you said that the last podcast, so everything has a frequency tool. Everything
Yeah,
has a frequency. And if you
I did. I don't remember that.
or
We've
maybe,
covered so much ground.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That could have been in one of your telepathy with plants. I think that was actually
Yes.
that, because it has a frequency, and then it has a flavor. I like to say it's got a flavor to it.
Yeah, resonance.
Yeah, yeah. So there's a
Yeah.
company that's coming out with this technology, and I think it's the collateral damage is that we figure out everything has a frequency, and we can find that, and we can work with that. We can expand it. We can, if it's detrimental frequency, we can create something that's dissonant that will cancel it out. You know,
That's true.
when
I
I
mean, this stuff is slowly like that's out there, what you're talking about. It's been suppressed. It's slowly like getting rolled out,
yeah,
like real slowly. It's hard to find. But
yeah,
if you really dig, you can find something kind of like what you're talking about.
because I think
I
people,
yeah.
they're commercializing it now. They're finding purposes that aren't just for healing, because I think that's the root of it all. Is like, yeah, all of this technology can heal, but certain
Well,
industries
then
don't
there's
want
like
that.
there's other frequencies that will hurt you, like 5G or whatever.
Which there's some
Just
liability on the companies to
to,
not give that out, so they don't have people, with that own technology themselves that can do that kind of crazy stuff.
or like big pharma would crash.
Yeah, I mean, if you
They're
can,
not quite ready for that. I think they're looking for maybe a slow fall, like a guided fall
yeah,
of that, maybe, so it
yeah,
doesn't like crash all of the sudden. So, like I heard, like there's already slow rollouts. A lot of this really cool technology, but one thing that they might not roll out right away. Are you familiar with the duplicator technology or the replicator technology?
have you ever read Calvin and Hobbes?
Maybe the names. Maybe it sounds familiar.
It's a comic, and it's a Bill Watterson's comic from back in the
Oh
day.
yeah, yeah, Hobbs. Yeah.
Calvin makes a duplicator. That's the only.
Okay.
So you're saying there's an actual one? Go ahead. No,
They've it's been given, to our black ops departments for decades, but it literally would crash our economy because you can just press a button and it'll make you an ice cream sundae. You can press a button and it'll make you sprouts. You press the button and you'll have a plant, just the same plant you wanted, and it's alive. But then there'd be no reason to trade.
And there would be no reason to trade, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the one thing that they probably, even though they have it, they won't release it.
I think with our level of consciousness now, what we would do with that tech is harmful. So we have that mission to get past all the lower nature. So we wouldn't even think to,
To harm.
to harm
Yeah,
or anything.
to get beyond that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we go
So yeah,
beyond.
that's true. That makes sense. That actually
Mhm.
makes sense. Hello, everybody. Christopher Von Dam here with Liquid Gold Honey and our YouTube channel. Welcome. And today we're, as per usual, gonna be talking about some semi-unusual things that are less talked about, although they are valid topics. I'm with my friend Preston,
Preston, tell me, everybody. Hello. Nice to be
who
here. Thank you, Chris.
who will be interviewing me, and let's just see how it goes, see what happens, see what comes up.
Cool. Well, yeah, like I said, thank you. I'm really happy to be in the bee family and
Mhm.
starting to merge with the bees and the knowledge from a distance. You're in Florida, I'm in California. Um,
Sure.
are there different bees on the different coasts?
I mean, essentially, there's many different types of bees.
Yeah,
Although, honeybees are predominantly honeybees. There are a few different strains of honeybees. There's Italian bees, Russian bees. There's a few different strains of honeybees.
nice. I am
Mhm.
curious how your relationship with the bees has happened and occurred and evolved on a non-physical way. Like, where was it? Did you get stung a lot and now you don't get stung as much, or like a story like that?
Okay. So, sure, when I first started doing this, that's a good point. I was not, maybe as sure of myself, or I didn't have as much knowledge as I do now, and I was learning. And yes, when I was a boy, my great grandfather showed this to me. But as I got older, he wasn't around any longer. So I kind of had to learn a lot of this stuff on my own. I mentored some much older people than me, like in their 70s, like ex-Vietnam vets that became beekeepers and stuff like that. And I would just pick their brain, and then they would basically just teach me everything that they knew, although a lot of it was just experiential, and I would just learn as I go. Um, and I'd, go open up some, sometimes I'd test it out. I'd open up a hive, and it could have been a very strong hive. And sometimes they were happy, and sometimes they weren't, and they would light me up. And sometimes I realized, oh, okay, you need a little bit extra smoke today. Put a couple puffs of smoke in there, shut the roof back on,
Some people are
let
like,
them just relax a little bit, and then okay, now let me see how you're doing in here, and then I would go in and just do whatever needed to be done.
that's cool. Does the
Hmm.
queen affect the vibe of the
He
hive?
does. So
Really?
yeah, so you kind of want, like, you could say, a more chill queen in a good way, so that she's not aggressive, but you still want an active queen that is laying a lot of eggs. So there's a lot of worker bees, which are all female, that go out to the flowers, get the nectar and the pollen, and then come back to the beehive and produce. So, queens live much longer than all the other bees. They're the only bee that eats royal jelly their entire life, and they live much longer, approximately 42 times longer than all of the other bees. So that's why some people can understand and actually feel the benefits of ingesting royal jelly themselves, which you'll need a quarter of a teaspoon a day. It's a white milky substance the bees produce. They
Wow.
secrete it out of their glands. They feed it to the babies. So the babies will ingest royal jelly as part of the nursing process, and there's separate bees just for the nursing process. There's nurse bees, although the queen herself is the only bee that actually ingests royal jelly her entire life. So a lot of people theorized, well, that's probably one of the main factors why she lives so long. Of course, she does have different genetics, although the royal jelly is greatly beneficial. Just like when we eat it, it's very good for us. So it helps to connect the neurotransmitters in your brain. So we think more fast, more clear, more alert. It helps to cleanse our liver, which is a big deal because that's our filter.
Yeah.
It has collagen. It creates more collagen on the skin for the system. It does so many things, makes our bones strong, helps to prevent osteoporosis. It's a natural stabilizer. We take it in the morning typically, and it gives us initial energy. Yet at nighttime, when it comes time to go to bed, we actually sleep better at night. And then a scientist came to our booth at one of our farmers markets a few years back, and he told me a couple things I didn't know about it. He said, no, before you go to bed, I knew that you could put it on your skin and it would help to heal wounds or, things that were going on with the skin. He said no, although it does even more than that. So he couldn't speak English, although he had a translator with him at the booth that we had in Fort Lauderdale. I think this was either 2019 or 2020. And he said, before you go to bed, put some on your forehead, down your nose, underneath each eye, and sleep like that. And he said, not only does it completely detox your third eye, he said it actually detoxes your nasal cavity. And he told me how old he was. And I said, what? I couldn't believe it. So apparently it takes 20 years off the way you look, because he said he was 51. The guy didn't look a day over 29. He had a baby face. The girl he was with said he did not used to look like that. And then he said that it even regrew his hair.
Wow.
In parts of his head. And she said, yes, he used to not have hair there. Like she was like kind of his witness and confirmed it. So then not too long after that, like probably within a year later, I was doing a Saturday farmers market at a place in downtown Miami called Brickell. So it's like a, kind of a ritzy place in the middle of, all these high rises, and very unusual. For me, I was kind of like, because anyway, it was a good market. So I go there, and then I just finished setting up the booth, and this little guy, he came over to the booth. He's like, so tell me about your royal jelly. So I gave him a whole spiel, and he's like, I'm going to go do my research. So I was like, okay. So it was the end of the night, it's a long day. I was out there all day, and I was packing up. It's already getting dark, and he came back out of his condominium. And he's like, so I just did my research. And he's like, I've been getting this skin cream from Neiman Marcus for $1,000 a month. The main active ingredient is royal jelly, and it has all these preservatives that are chemicals that are not good for you. He's like, why don't I just get it from you and save $900 a month? And I was like,
Wow.
exactly.
So
Just get it from the source.
I imagine that could be used for just a laundry list of
Okay,
things.
so that's a great point. So after the scientist told me this, I was like, well, I have to try this myself. So we were already, selling the royal jelly in very small containers. Like we sell, it's like a 1.5 ounce. We sell like two of them for 140 or 75 for one. So it actually saves $10 if they get two. And we're mixing it with the less sweet gallberry honey in another container, like I think 12 fluid ounces, because it has the most live enzymes, and it's only about 20 in the glycemic index, which you keep in the fridge. And the enzymes actually self-preserve the royal jelly, with both of those products you keep in the fridge. So after the scientist, even further educated me at the booth, because he had done
You cut out there. I can't shoot. I can't hear you.
my forehead.
I couldn't hear you there. I'm not sure if I caught that in the recording.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. You said he did extensive research and then you cut out.
So the scientist had done extensive research. So then I had to field test some of his research. So before I went to bed, I had to try this myself. I put some on my forehead, down my nose, underneath my eyes. And it's not like honey. Like honey is very sticky. So if you were to sleep with honey on your face, most likely
Sounds like a nightmare. Yeah.
you'd get stickiness all over your pillow, your sheets. But although royal jelly, if you put it on your skin or face right before bed, it actually dries pretty quick. It's not sticky like honey. And when I woke up the next day, you feel it.
Cut out again. Can't hear you.
Yeah. So
I hear you now.
so anyway, when you wake up after having royal jelly on your face, you'll feel like there's an extra layer of skin on your face. Like, I don't know how else to say this. So it and you'll feel the difference. So it softens your skin, it smooths your skin, and it tightens your skin. So it does pretty much everything from any of one of those, quote unquote, natural, extraordinarily expensive cosmetics companies' products, although much more. Because
Retinol.
there's no preservatives, there's no chemicals to downgrade it. It's just the pure source. And you kind of, when you go into the mirror, you look like your skin is kind of peeling, like you're out in the sun or something, and you got a little too much sun. Like it looks like you may have gotten sunburn. Like it looks like your skin is peeling, but that's this layer that dried on your skin, and it's like slowly like peeling. So some people, when they wake up, they go in the bathroom, they wash it off or take a shower. And then other people that do this royal jelly, facial or face mask before bed, when they wake up, if they don't have to go anywhere right away, they just leave it on. And yeah, who cares? It looks like your skin is peeling, but it's not your skin. It's this extra coat that you put on there, which is basically a straight collagen and much more. There's even components in royal jelly that scientists haven't even figured out what that is yet. And you'll feel yourself that it does soften your skin, smooths your skin, and it tightens your skin. So it's very rejuvenating. It's very not only anti-aging, it's reverse aging. So I can see exactly why the scientists said this.
Wow.
I experienced the exact same thing. So it's not something I do.
It's a bombshell.
It's not something that I do every day, and I noticed, like, I would get like hand eczema. So there's like a type of eczema that just stays on your hands, and there's other types that go throughout your body. And I noticed that also if I put it on my hands before bed, and plus I work with my hands doing what I do, it helps it to go away. So, and it works better than like, steroid cream or stuff from the pharmacy. And it's natural because you don't even want to use that stuff because there's so much other stuff in it. And even that stuff in itself is not the best for us. It's not natural. So, it's a pharmaceutical.
Yeah, it's probably tightening the skin, but by detrimental means, that
Well, no. Well, the stuff in Neiman Marcus, I don't even know what that did.
Right.
But the other stuff I'd put on my hands, it just didn't feel the same. Like it would kind of have a slight burning sensation, the steroid cream from the pharmacy for hand eczema. But when you put the royal jelly on your skin, it feels so good.
What's interesting?
So your skin, is full of nerves, and your body tells you what's good for it. Yeah. It tells you. You just got to be open to receive those messages, little messages.
I would give my fiance some grief every once in a while when I'd look at her jelly bottle, not royal jelly, her store-bought stuff, and it would have salicylic acid in it. And when I grew up, I used to have warts on my hand, and to get rid of the warts, I would put the salicylic acid or the compound that had salicylic acid in there, and it would burn.
Oh.
And if I got it on around my wart, it would burn the rest of my hand, and I'd be like, "You're just burning your face off." Is that how this
Um,
works? So she's actually hip to it now, and just yesterday she took back a product she got in the mail. She scanned it. She has this app that scans and it goes through ingredients, and she sent it back. But royal jelly sounds like a rabbit hole, dude.
it's
That's
kind of
amazing.
godly in a way.
I believe it.
So,
Yeah.
so are bees. Like bees are
So they
beyond, like such from such a higher dimension
yeah.
than all of us. I mean, they are so
Everything,
special. We can all learn from them.
yeah.
They are our role model. They're very
Everything
special.
everything bees touch turns to gold. They're like,
They are gold. And gold, talking about frequency is a very special frequency. Like the harmonics, if you test frequencies, here's a little example. I have some bees in the backyard here, and I put some containers of water, 3 containers of water. This is like a little kind of an experiment that I did, but I didn't realize it was an experiment because it kind of happened accidentally. They were the lids of 3 different color 5-gallon buckets that I had on the table back there. It had just rained, so there was water, good water, rainwater, in all 3 of them. And so I'm sitting here observing which lid the bees were going to drink out of. So the colors of the lids were, one was black, one was white, and one was gold. So the bees almost every single time only drank from the gold lid. They rarely drank from the white lid. They didn't even touch the black lid.
mm,
So I think because every color emits a frequency, just like every sound, everything has a frequency. So with the bees frequency, what they resonate with the most is the special frequency that comes from gold. So that's why some of these ancient civilizations valued gold so much because of this. And there's so many special properties. There's so many. I mean, we could go on and on just talking about gold.
it kind
So
of reminds me like when you said that it helps, like the royal jelly helps you wake up, but it also helps you sleep.
yes, like not at the same time.
It's just
That's why you would take it earlier
yeah,
in the
but
day because it does give you initial energy. But then at night, when it comes time to sleep, you actually sleep deeper, better. You know, it's pretty special.
I feel like gold is I can't really I'm trying to understand this myself. Like gold is useful for everything. Like gold is like oh, you can't hear me? Check, check, check.
Okay, now I can hear you.
Oh,
Sorry, I didn't hear the last thing that you said. No, wait.
I also have only 1 minute left, but I'll just say, I
Well, I
think
think we said quite a bit.
we did say a lot. Yeah. I mean, it's really interesting. Royal jelly, my mind is blown right now. Like, I'm not surprised, but holy, you know what, dude? Like, royal jelly and they excrete this?
It's
It's,
very special.
it's
Yes,
your,
extraordinarily special. Because it has the bee frequency in it, which is the highest frequency animal on the planet, which actually how bees fly from the frequency, not their wings. They're vibrating, they start levitating, use their wings to steer, then make the buzzing sound, which gets that frequency, gets into everything: the royal jelly, the honey, the
bro.
propolis, the bee pollen, the liquid concentrated bee pollen.
I want to learn more about this.
It's extraordinary.
I'm gonna try and do some research and figure out myself. It's absolutely extraordinary. Thank you for bringing that into my
Beautiful. You're
awareness.
welcome. You're
And
welcome.
we did cover a lot. So thank you
We
again
love you,
for your time.
everyone. Yes, thank you.
Thanks everyone. Appreciate you too.
We love you.